and we have an amazing guest. हमारे साथ एक बहुत जबरदस्त guest हैं आज हमारे साथ Ragavan Venkatesan. And hi Ragavan, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Abhishek, for having me here.
So to tell you about Ragavan, he is a founder and a CEO of Digivriddhi Technologies Private Limited, which we call in short DGV, and it is one of the few, I would say or rather first fintech which is focusing on social needs and social cause, especially the farmers of India, the dairy farmers in India. Raghavan holds an amazing experience from his initial engagement with NPCI. Later on, he moved into various banks. Raghavan ने बहुत नए positions को handle किया, especially how to bring banking to Bharat. And I had fortunate to work with him in few of the banks, and where he has contributed in large scale in understanding the needs of Bharat, how financial inclusion can happen in Bharat. He has spearheaded many projects, which I have seen personally, sort of close to work with him, especially on Aadhaar related products. He has been pioneer bringing micro ATM to the world in rural India. So I think if I keep explaining about him and Accords, I think it'll take a lot of time, but I'll keep it short. Raghavan's company, which is DGV, has raised around $10 million US in the recent past. I think the recent one was 6 million raised from the investors. So I think amazing work he's doing. And today's conversation with Upskill Abhishek, we are going to cover all of these aspects and understand from him that Bharat में अगर entrepreneurial journey किसी को start करनी है या successful होना है तो उसके लिए कैसा mindset skill set चाहिए वो will discuss with Raghavan. So Raghavan, welcome once again, and looking forward to hear a lot of insights from you.
No, thank you, Abhishek, and for the lovely introduction. It's my privilege to be on your channel. God has been kind, and as an entrepreneur, life is very uncertain. But there have been many moments where DGV, was not in such great position, but it's the team at DGV which pulled itself together. Overall, I've been enjoying this entrepreneurial journey for the last 4 years now. We founded DGV in 2019 December. Now it's close to about 4 years. And I believe now we are at the inflection point where we will catapult ourselves into the larger league.
Wow, that's amazing. Raghavan, to this point, is it right to say that it is the Bharat's moment?
No, absolutely. I strongly believe that what the Honorable Prime Minister says, that this is the Amrit Kal. And the next 25 years for India will be very, very significant. And we will see Bharat powering India in a very big way. And I say this, with all the confidence, because I spent about 15 to 20 days in a month in rural India across various states. And I see how it is transforming, how the attitudes of, the farmers, the rural folks, using digital technologies, and trying to carve out a niche for themselves. All this is happening, and it's happening on UPI is a testimony to all this. I mean, today you go to any of the smallest of shops in India, and even into deep rural India, you will find QR codes being used, smartphones being used. So this is all real growth, and India is bound to reap the benefits of the digital public infrastructure, which has already been there for the last 15 years. So this is Bharat, this is India's moment.
And in fact, I was reading a lot of reports, Raghavan. I think आज के डेट में इंडिया में we have around 50% plus youth population in our country. और उसके साथ में जैसे आपने बताया digital public infrastructure, whether digital India mission हो, whether payments की facility को smooth करना हो, whether the entire GST which is being already live and active, whether the entire data privacy elements which are to be protected. I think we are largely set, and with smartphones and tablets reaching out to the millennials and the Gen Zs, जो हमारे youth है उनके पास भी है, access of the information is available, internet connectivity is amazing, and in fact the push from RBI, especially to use payment channels to reach the masses in India, including the digital lending, which is happening, small ticket size loans. I think इस moment को as you talked about Amrit Kal, I think what are your suggestions? What are your main point of contentions which you would like to share, and also others to follow when we are looking for that large leap of success which we are looking for the country as a whole?
I think the easiest way to look at this is, that's a very large statement as to what I can suggest. But largely, I found that today entrepreneurs have been far more bold in their endeavors, thanks to all these railroads which have been already laid by the Government of India, Reserve Bank of India, NPCI. Um, all these national entities have played a huge role, and I think it gives the entrepreneurs of today a lot of leverage to look at these railroads or what we call the digital public infrastructure to build upon. Now, a small example I will give. It would have not been possible for me in my setup. So today, DGV is a setup which basically connects the BFSI and the dairy farmers and the dairy micro enterprises in India. We act as a conduit between these two ecosystems. And essentially, all the stack what DGV has created is basically leveraging what today we popularly call India stack. Now, the cost of customer acquisition, the ability to deliver services in hinterland, the level of digitization, having a call center in regional language, but communicating to the farmer to say, do this, do that. Today, we are able to create a digital bovine loan, which gets sanctioned in 30 minutes with zero paper, full digital footprints, following the digital lending norms. All this is possible because banks have been open-minded, fintechs have collaborated, Reserve Bank of India has been very open and encouraging to such fintechs. And this is where India and Bharat will make a difference. And I'm very, very happy that whatever small, in very small way, we are able to contribute. We are enjoying the journey, and that's what we intend to do.
So tell more about DGV and what are the steps you are taking, what kind of products you are building, how you are enabling that journey. आप कैसे हमारे जो किसान भाई लोग हैं, जो हमारे रूरल एरिया में हमारे भाई बहन हैं, उनको कैसे आप मदद करते हैं अपने स्टार्टअप के?
Sure. बड़ा आसान है। बेसिकली हमारे रिसर्च ने ये पता किया कि अगर किसी को कैटल लोन की जरूरत होती है, तो उसको भी बैंक ब्रांच जाना होता है, उसको भी अपना प्रमाण पत्र देना होता है, उसको भी अपना इनकम वेरीफाई कराना होता है, और वो सारे स्टेप्स होते हैं। इसमें एवरेज 60 to 65 डेज लगता है। जब से वो बैंक ब्रांच जाता है, उसके बाद उसका प्रोसेस शुरू होता है। करीबन 35 to 45 डेज के बीच में उसको पता लगता है कि वो एलिजिबल है कि नहीं। अगर एलिजिबल है तो आगे की कार्रवाई होती है। तो ये पूरा जो जर्नी है 60 65 डेज का, हमने क्रंच करके 30 मिनट में कर दिया। हमने डेयरी प्रोसेसर्स जो आज के प्रमुख डेयरी प्रोसेसर्स हैं, जैसे कि गुजरात में हम अमूल के साथ काम करते हैं, कर्नाटका में हम नंदिनी के साथ करते हैं, आंध्र प्रदेश में एपी अमूल के साथ करते हैं। तो ऐसे कई राज्य हैं जिसमें अपना जो 3 टायर डॉक्टर कुरियन का जो स्ट्रक्चर था वो काफी फैला हुआ है। एंड उसमें हमने आखिरी स्तर पे मिल्क सोसाइटीज और डेयरी फार्मर्स के साथ मिलके ये पूरा डिजिटल इकोसिस्टम को, डिजिटल वैल्यू चेन को कैप्चर किया, और उनको उनका जो एक्सेस टू फाइनेंस है वो काफी आसान किया। तो ये हमारा फिजिटल मॉडल है, जिसमें हम मिल्क सोसाइटी पे भी जो दूध डालने आते हैं, उसी समय पे हम इनको अपने साथ बैंकिंग के साथ जोड़ते हैं। आज हमारे पीछे प्रमुख बैंक है, 6 टॉप इंडिया के जो बैंक है वो हमारे पार्टनर्स हैं। और डेयरी प्रोसेसिंग साइड में अमूल है, जिसको गुजरात कोऑपरेटिव मिल्क मार्केटिंग फेडरेशन से जाना जाता है, कर्नाटका मिल्क फेडरेशन नंदिनी है, और आंध्र प्रदेश अमूल है। और इसमें हमने कई मॉडल्स पिवट किए हैं। एक मॉडल में हम डीजीवी इज बोथ अ फिनटेक एंड बिजनेस करस्पॉन्डेंट टू बैंक्स। एक में हम सिर्फ अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइड करते हैं। तो ऐसे कई कॉम्बिनेशन है जिसके जिसके बलबूते पे हम बैंक के साथ काम करते हैं। एंड अभी तक हमने तीनों फेसेट्स बैंकिंग के लाइव किए हैं, चाहे वो पेमेंट्स हो, चाहे वो बेसिक बैंकिंग हो, चाहे वो एसेट्स हो, रिलेटेड इंश्योरेंस हो। एंड हमने अपना अपना खुद का मार्केट प्लेस भी किया है। जैसे कि आप OLX पे कोई गुड्स खरीदते हो, सेकेंड हैंड गुड्स खरीदते हो और डिजिटली देख पाते हो कि वो कैसे है, क्या है। वैसे ही हमने लाइफ स्टॉक वर्ल्ड के लिए डीजीवी कनेक्ट एक मार्केट प्लेस बनाया है, जिसमें फार्मर्स, इंडिया के जो टॉप ब्रीडर्स हैं, वो आके अपने बोवाइंस को लिस्ट करते हैं। तो बेसिकली 3 प्लेटफॉर्म है। आप डिस्कवर करिए डीजीवी कनेक्ट पे, फंड कराइए डीजीवी मनी लोन ओरिजिनेशन सिस्टम के द्वारा, जहां पर लोन बुक होगा बैंक के साथ, और उस लोन का भुगतान होगा मिल्क सोसाइटी या मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट पे डीजीवी पे के द्वारा। इसीलिए हम अपने आप को इंडिया फर्स्ट डेयरी फोकस्ड फिनटेक एंड मार्केट प्लेस प्लेटफॉर्म इन एन इंटीग्रेटेड वे मानते हैं।
एब्सोल्युटली, क्योंकि ये निश है जो एरिया आप कर रहे हैं, स्पेशली सी हमेशा ये बोला जाता है कि जो जो भारत है वो गांव में बसता है। भारत बसता है उन हमारे किसानों और फार्मर्स के पास, स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइज शॉप ओनर्स के पास, और उसके बाद फिर शहरों में आता है। सो आई थिंक दिस इज दैट्स व्हाई I would like to also call upon to the viewers who are listening us in Spotify or watching us in YouTube, absolutely, Abhishek, is that Raghavan's initiative is social entrepreneurship. So ही इज क्रिएटिंग वैल्यू, वो वैल्यू क्रिएशन भी कर रहे हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है हमारे देश में कि हम कैसे nth लेवल तक, आखिरी लेवल तक पहुंचे, वो उस पर भी फोकस कर रहे हैं। तो दैट्स वाई इनके ऊपर ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो भारत को पूर्ण रूप से विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए जो अंत तक जो लोग हैं जिनको सुविधाएं नहीं मिल सकती है लोन लेने की, जिनको पेमेंट करने की असुविधा हो सकती है, जहां पे बहुत ज्यादा कैश में डीलिंग करना पड़ सकता है, जहां पे उनको एक दूसरे से अपने सामान को बेच खरीदने के लिए दिक्कत होती है, वहां पे राघवन पहुंच रहे हैं। तो राघवन केवल टीयर 1 टीयर 2 सॉल्व नहीं कर रहे हैं, राघवन एक्चुअल में टीयर 5 टीयर 6 टीयर 4 5 सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक इसलिए ये बहुत बहुत प्रेशियस है राघवन। टेल मी वन थिंग, your experience on Aadhaar. You have done a lot of work in Aadhaar, I know that, including work with the likes of Nandan also. So share your experience and how Aadhaar is enabling India, Raghavan.
No, so my experience of working with Nandan sir and many of the most noticeable names in India has been very, very enlightening, I must say. The most enlightening aspect about working with Nandan was that despite the fame and despite what he has achieved in life, he used to listen to the junior most member of his team. And that time I was part of NPCI. I used to report into Dilip, and Hotaji was the MD and CEO, and I was given the task of integrating Aadhaar with NPCI. And I would say I was at the right place at the right moment, and also I had the ability and the courage to take that project full on strength, and I really enjoyed it. It had many iterations. In fact, we were the guinea pig in many sense. We went through multiple Aadhaar authentication iterations. I had to get my banks. That time, ICICI, Bank of India, and Union Bank were the first three banks to come on board on the Aadhaar platform. And they also were, I would say, uh, you know, uh, had a very open mind to keep undergoing those iterations, because typically in a bank, people want to iterate less because of the many changes in the systems they have to make. But they were very open, and that journey is somewhat today all of us are very proud of. Aadhaar is a very transformative project for the India, and I'm very very happy that it took place. Today, all the successes which India is very proud of, be it the real time payments, be it the ability to distribute direct benefit transfer when the whole country was in a lockdown, something which Mr. Bill Gates openly acknowledged. And today the World Bank has a group called ICT for development to basically canvas how a digital ID and a payment infrastructure for every country is a necessity. So today India is at the privilege of being the North Star for developed countries to adopt digital public infrastructure. And largely two entities which have played this role is UIDIA, or popularly called as Aadhaar, and second is NPCI. I had the good fortune of being at the intersection of both.
Oh, I'm telling you, as I speak to you, so much of information and the data which is available. As you spoke about today, people who are listening, watching us, they should know that 50 crore bank accounts, Jan Dhan Aadhaar accounts are live and active, and lakhs of crores of rupees are being transacted through those bank accounts. They are live and active, it's not their dormant accounts or inoperative. And trillions of transactions are happening month on month through UPI. And in fact, the percentage of loan to GDP with respect to bank and non-banks have also shifted. And that's why the players like fintech, as of yours, जैसे आप कर रहे हैं, they are actually now creating that contribution to the GDP by providing easy access to the credit to the unserved, unbanked, population of the country. And one more thing, when Bharat grows, बहुत important बात है राघवन, जब when Bharat grows, the world grows. Because Bharat,
Yeah,
because of
absolutely.
your views.
No, no, no. It is, see, there are two things. Even when you read the news today, the news is very clear. You know, when FMCG wants to bounce back, they look for indicators whether the rural consumption will go up because they know that is what is going to actually take up. If you look at banks in India, if they really want to penetrate and grow further, the urban pockets, the tier one, the metros are already saturated. If they have to grow, they have to be able to grow in tier two to tier six zones. So more or less, if India has to lead the consumption story, if India has to lead by itself, then it is very important for it to power the tier 2 to tier 6, uh, for it to not depend on anybody else, but the self consumption itself will drive the economy further. So I think many things have fallen in place for India. Um, and that is why the next 25 years will be something, are the golden years for Bharat and India.
Though 2047 is what, in fact, I'm also sort of eyeing that goal of being in that Amrit Kaal of 25 years, because we have shed those colonial understanding of 75 years with celebrations of our independence. And this 25 years is our point of inflection and to
Yes.
make it big. And entrepreneur like you, Raghavan, are the live example who are demonstrating by the action, by the and setting the right principles. So, Raghavan, as an entrepreneur, what is the advice you would like to give to the youth or the new age people who are leaving their jobs or they're starting new from the college and school? I know you've gone to Geetham and many other colleges and universities. You talked about it. I've been watching your point of view there. But what is that message you want to give? Because this is important.
No, so I am very happy to encourage entrepreneurship, but my 2 cents to all people who want to embrace entrepreneurship is I think you should work for 10 to 12 years before you jump into entrepreneurship, simply for two, three reasons. One, you develop people management skills, which are very, very essential. You develop a sense of how to balance different people and leverage their strength to get the collective momentum going in organization. Um, the basics of how you run a show. These are some things which come with a little bit of experience. So, and I think now the VC community also appreciates this, that having little bit gray hair is not that bad. Um, so 10 to 12 years and then jump into entrepreneurship will be something. From a period perspective, this is definitely a very good time to embrace it because we have capital in the country. We have the digital railroads to enable any such setup. Overall, people don't shy away from the word startup. Uh, Entrepreneurship today is very glorified, but if you look at the guy who's selling tomatoes on a reedy outside, he's an entrepreneur. If you
Absolutely.
look at your, any small shop, he's an entrepreneur. So, and they have been doing that for many, many years. So it's just that the format of entrepreneurship has changed, has become more digitally savvy. And typically, India has been a land of entrepreneurs right from start. It's just that today it's getting a very formal recognition. Today, micro enterprises are able to access finance and the ability and the good things that like GST, revenues going up quarter on quarter, is basically adding the is formalizing the entire base, is making them somewhat pay tax, and eventually they will be having digital footprint which they can leverage. So overall, I think slowly things are falling in place, and another 5 years we will see a lot more Indians having smartphones, a lot more rural households having smartphones, a lot more people watching this such episodes on a YouTube or Spotify. And this is all reality. It's all happening. Whenever I go to villages, I see he may not be literate, but he was definitely consuming content on YouTube. Um, so how these mediums can be leveraged to enhance growth, you know, simple things, civic sense in India, it's increasing with every new generation of kids coming in. They want India to be more green. They want to save wildlife. You know, these are things, these are environmentally very conscious things which are happening. People in cities now want to breathe clean air. They are wanting to, now with remote working, they are looking at actually going downtown and not commuting to the workplace as long as they are productive. These are very all these are very dramatic shifts in India, and overall I feel we are heading in the right direction. Still, I will feel people should see the development around it, not at the cost of environment, but generally see how both can be balanced. And I see no reason why people should go outside. There will be enough opportunities within India for one to fulfill their objectives.
That's the India moment. That's moment of Bharat. And with this, Raghavan, I have this wonderful book on leadership. And since you are one of the leaders who have come today, I would like you to give me one of your favorite numbers from 1 to 75. And I would like to see what is the quote by Gurudev on for us today. Yeah.
So go for page 25.
25, 25. Okay. So let me quickly jump into 25. Yeah. Okay. So here it says to manage people, you have to manage your mind, you have to keep your spirits high. I again repeat,
Yeah.
to manage people, you have to manage your mind, you have to keep your spirits high.
No,
What do you say?
I perfectly agree to it. And an entrepreneur has to be an eternal optimist. You have to motivate yourself. Uh, I'll give an example of myself. I must have given some hundreds of VC pitches,
Oh,
and I did not get it right for probably the first 30 or 40. And the next VC, which I have to go, probably maybe just 5 minutes after the last session. And you're screwed up the previous one. But you have to have the same energy and the same enthusiasm and the same passion and the same positivity to go into the next one, because you don't want it to be carried. So it is a mind game. And if you are within yourself a positive person, looking at positivity in every aspect, you look at the positive side, then generally things tend to happen.
yes, absolutely. And being an entrepreneur, managing such a large team like you, Raghavan, of course, managing your own mind to manage team better, and of course, keeping that high spirit, because not everyone get the opportunity to reach to 100 VCs, because every 99 pitch which went wrong is an example or a testimony that you know something better than somebody else who has not done it previously. So kudos to that. Raghavan, between the intersection, I think we're just sort of coming closer to the session, but between the intersection of bank, fintech, and regulator, I want your quick sense, because with respect to the innovation of the product and regulatory framework, with respect to how banks are receptive to the change and how we can innovate on those lines, very quick points, because these are very crucial areas. We need to continue keeping the momentum there.
As long as the fintech is able to have a very clear idea of where their rights are and where it stops, you will be always in a collaborative way with the bank and the regulator. It's when the fintech self assumes a larger role that's when the problem emanates. And if you have that appreciation in both letter and spirit, then you are always welcome by the regulator as well as the BFSI. And we have had the privilege of working with the Reserve Bank of India directly, Reserve Bank of India Innovation Hub, various banks. And overall, we have been able to leverage that intersection rather than it becoming a problem.
I've been reading a lot of reports from RBI, being a regulatory compliance professional, and I'm supposed to do that as my learning opportunity. What I saw is that they want you to innovate, but not at the cost of compliance. So
Absolutely.
to seek a license to operate, get it done. Don't operate in hunch or in between and then screwed up and get up penalized. Is what sort of I'm sort of picking up. Is it true? Is it true? Is it making sense?
Yeah, I mean, you always have experts like you to look upon, and if there is a doubt, they can always clarify. Uh, and that's why I said 10 to 12 years of gray hair, some make some benefit because they appreciation for the regulation for the bank, and it's not easy for them. They are heavily regulated, so you have to sympathize with them and and do the right. So then it's usually very easy.
Yeah. And also on the new products, any point of view on the upcoming new products which are going to be top of the town and which are going to leverage for the consumption economy in the fintech side?
On the fintech side, I think the creation of the SRO is something which is the latest announcement from the Reserve Bank. So and fintech is a very broad area. So I'm sure there'll be many SROs. There is an intersection of the BC community with the fintech community. So the equivalents of the BCFI may also want to aspire to be an SRO. There is the payment side, which is represented by Payment Council of India. There's so many flavors to it. So we have to wait and watch as to how many variants of this gets created. And there may be institutions like me who are participating in three aspects of this. So whom all should we become a member to? Uh, there'll be various dynamics which will play out, but it's interesting times.
No, I think it was amazing conversation with you, Raghavan. With India stack being utilized to the potential, and with the entrepreneurs like Raghavan who are creating social impact at the same time creating value, and with so much happening in the regulatory space, especially from RBI, SEBI, MFI, IRDAI, especially when it comes to how the digital payment can flourish in terms of how the lending can happen in the right manner and the right possible opportunities, how the unbanked area in India can reach and see the potential. I think we are in the right moment and right amount of the time where we'll see more such new innovation happening, more such reach out and call out happens. And I think, Raghavan, thank you so much for joining in, because you sharing your practical experience, personal experience, having walked that path, I think this is going to help me as well and a lot of us who are watching and listening from your words.
So thank you for the lovely invite, and it's been a pleasure, Abhishek, talking with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Raghavan. Thanks a lot and have a great day and great time ahead. I look forward for all the success. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.